If you are watching the video, thank you for watching. We have a podcast called The Council every Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Links in the description. Cool. Tenet. Now, Liam and I already gave our spoiler reviews, which you can watch youtube.com/themovielover. So we're going to let Ben speak first, and then I think we'll give our non-spoiler kind of brushstrokes. Right, Liam?
Yeah. So,
Cool.
Tenet is a movie that I did not lose my shit over. I will say I enjoyed going to IMAX. I saw this movie in IMAX. That was a great experience. I felt the vibrations in my seat. It was everything I could have wanted. And I think that some of the best looking sequences and films ever put together. I think there's a certain scene at an airport, which was phenomenal. There was a scene on a highway, which was also phenomenal. There were a few other action set pieces that, if I'm being honest, I remember loving, but I actually can't remember for the life of me. It was a really, really interesting film that was held together by amazing action, stunning visuals, and phenomenal acting. John David Washington was so good, even though he was at arm's length. But come on, like, if that's a complaint of the Christopher Nolan movie, all of his characters are at arm's length, except maybe Batman and Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar. You know, that's pretty much all the intimate personal things that Christopher Nolan's ever done. All of his movies are cold. Can we just accept that? It really worked here. And I do think that the score by Ludwig Göransson, who did Black Panther, actually gave the film a bit of a soul. I think that his score is a lock for a nomination, and I would even give him the win, because I think it made this film all the more better for me, someone who was not enjoying it. So we'll move on to two other actors in the film. Elizabeth Debicki, who I think always does a phenomenal job, but I hated her character, and Kenneth Branagh, who I just wish would stop working in Hollywood. I just don't like that man. His character was okay. His accent annoyed the living hell out of me. I thought it was really bad. This is a film that is, interesting to look at. I think there's a lot there, but like what some people said with New Mutants, there's nothing like connecting all of these things for me, and I felt that it was just a paper thin plot. I know, Yousef, I know what you're thinking, like, oh, there's the scene set it up later on, and yada yada yada. Yeah,
New Mutants, but you didn't like this.
You'll wait till my grave. But
I think he does.
When it comes to this movie, I feel like, when it comes to this movie, I feel like you should either see it in a theater, in a big screen. You should either see it in a theater like that, or you should not see it at all, because I feel like seeing it at home would just be a waste. Because other than that really big experience with the action and the set pieces, this film offers nothing. I got nothing from it. And there was one other thing I wanted to say, I can't remember it. So I'll just let Yousef vent, even though I don't care.
First of all,
wait, really quick, hang on, Ben. When you say some people, we know who the people is. It's you said that some people have said this about New Mutants. Like, we know Liam and Yousef. They just said it. And also, wait, who saw it twice? And I'm wondering whether that'll change anybody's opinion. Only Yousef. Okay. Just something to note about the review. Okay.
What the hell? First of all, I know you're like 12, but this movie wasn't that difficult to understand, okay? So we'll just start with that. It's not. Okay. First of all, Elizabeth Debicki her character was so good here. She was the heart of the film. We talked about, because I saw Liam got annoyed when you said that too.
Yeah.
She is the heart of the film. You would not care about anything that happens in this film, especially with the whole, I don't want to spoil it, but the thing that's happening. You wouldn't care if she wasn't there, because she is the heart of the story.
Yeah.
Her and her son, that's what you care about.
I don't care about
agree
it, though.
with that.
I didn't.
Well, I'm complete, I didn't even like Tenet. I have a better opinion of Tenet now that I've seen New Mutants. But the one thing that completely stands out is the acting across the board. Yeah. Across
even
the board,
Branagh.
Even Branagh is
his accent's crap, acting. Sure, but
terrible Russian voice. It's the same as his Poirot voice. That's just the accent he does for generic foreign person.
Yeah.
But his acting's still good. You still think he's a villain. You still get scared of him. You still think he's on the edge.
I can
He
agree with
still
that.
makes you believe that he is this crazy mental person that is willing to do these things. So you can't say his acting's bad because he makes you believe them.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I wouldn't have cared in the slightest if anything happened by the end of this film bad, unless it was for Elizabeth Debicki's character, and her acting is the reason why I had that, still had
This is
that
her
hope
best
that good
role yet.
things were going to happen.
No, I liked her
Because
acting.
she
I thought
made
she did
you-
a phenomenal job, but I didn't like her character.
You're
Yousef,
supposed
better
to
than
like a
Widows.
character.
Better than
What?
Better than Widows? Elizabeth Debicki's. You said this was
In
her
Widows?
best performance, so
I don't remember her in Widows. She didn't make
Hell no.
an impression in that movie.
I remember her in
She
Guardians
was
too.
amazing in Widows. I loved Elizabeth Debicki in Widows. That's why she's a movie
If
star.
anybody steals the show in that movie, it's Cynthia Erivo.
Cynthia Erivo.
So
Yeah. 100%.
Carl
She
did-
got nothing.
okay, I'm not done ripping your head off here. Just bear with
Nope.
me.
It's still a pass because I don't care.
First of all, you completely forgot about Robert Pattinson. How do you not talk about Robert
Pattinson.
Pattinson?
Amazing.
Yeah. Okay, we can agree on that. That's great. The movie was great. It was so good. The plot, I don't understand how you people are like, oh, it's so simple, it's so paper thin. It's a Bond movie. When you look at it, it is a Bond movie. But he gives it enough of a twist that it makes it his own. I love the story. I love their explanation of how this works, what exactly is happening in this film. I do agree with what Liam said in the spoiler review, is that they did throw in a lot of science mumbo jumbo. So I would have toned that down a little bit. But I think overall, if you don't overthink it, it is quite simple to understand. Seeing it a second time really also adds to the film because you get all of the things that he was setting up beforehand. And it makes a lot more sense when you do that. I think also the cinematography was stunning. All the technical aspects of this film were perfect. The sound mixing, though, was awful because as a viewer, it sucks because you cannot hear any of the dialogue. As a theater employee, it also sucks because the bass is too high, the vocals are too low, so you'll turn it down, but then you can't hear what they're saying. You turn it up, and everybody goes deaf. So that
that was one of my reasons for
that was my
Interstellar.
issue.
Yeah.
That was an issue in Inception for me. I couldn't hear what the hell they were talking about, which made it even more confusing.
I love that they also showed both points of views for a lot of the scenes, the forwards and the reverse. And it was so hard to, it would have been so hard to pull off. And there's so much pre-production that they would have had to do and so much planning. And the fact that they did actually pull it off and it was entertaining to watch. And when you're sitting there and they go the other way, and you're like, wow, this is incredible. I really enjoyed that. I think, as we said, the acting was phenomenal. Every single person was great. Even the supporting actors. Aaron Taylor Johnson was good. I forget the actress's
Still
name,
hot
but
too.
the lady who played Priya the second time, she really stood out. She was great. Who else was in the film? Michael Caine. Yeah, Michael Caine. He had one scene. He was great. So Himesh Patel was great. Everybody was just really, really good. The colors, I would have made it a little bit brighter just because I don't think they knew how to light John David Washington and the colors felt a bit muted. And I think the editing was a little bit jumpy. They went from scene to scene really quickly with no establishing shots or anything. So you that might have been intentional, but you have so much going on that I think to make it more palatable for mainstream audiences, you should have cut it a little bit better. But overall, I think this is a really good film. I think this is a masterpiece. I don't understand how people are like, oh, it's not good or it's too difficult to understand. No, it's not. Just sit there and watch it and enjoy it. The last thing I want to say is Ben said, if you don't see it in a theater, don't see it at all. I don't agree with that. I think if you want to see it and your question is between theater and at home is about price or convenience, go to a movie theater. But if it's about safety, if you're legitimately concerned about your safety, then stay at home. But still watch it at home when it comes out. And I'm 100% sure that they're going to re-release it next year or the year after that because it costs so much money to make. So
I
I'm
think
sure
this
you'll
will
get a
play in
chance to see
theaters
it.
for a very long time. It's going to play for a
Yeah.
very long time.
Oh yeah,
Especially
because there's
if
no
we
movie
have-
until October. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Because The King's Man left September, as it should,
Mhm.
because it's going to bomb either way.
Yeah.
Where
So-
does this film rank among the other Nolan films for you guys?
Oh, this is interesting. This is very interesting
This is
from
his
my point of
opus.
view.
Okay, go
His
ahead. You go
opus?
first.
Just
It's
'cause
his
my point-
best.
It's his best action movie,
It's
you
a-
think?
It's his best movie, period. I think that he took everything he learned from all of his movies and he put it here. I would say this is the best, then The Dark Knight, then Inception, Interstellar, and some of the other ones below that.
Okay, so my perspective is quite interesting because I don't like a lot of his movies. I'm not like some diehard Nolan super fan. I do think I respect each and every one of them. That doesn't mean I have to like them because I don't. So my favorite Nolan movie is Insomnia, the movie he did with Al Pacino and Robin Williams. I think that's my favorite Nolan movie. I think it's phenomenal. It's genius. It's everything I want out of a film. Then I would actually say Tenet is my number 2 because even with all the problems that I have with it, I think it's smart enough that it is able to stand by itself with the technological stuff they were able to pull off, and that was really clever. I just didn't fall in love with it. Dark Knight would be probably my number 3, which is obviously like a really great movie. If I see Tenet again and it turns out to be some amazing movie, then I'll probably take back some of the stuff. I've only seen it once, and then the rest of them I could care less. I don't really like any of them. My least favorite is The Dark Knight Rises. I hate that movie.
Me too.
How do you like the Batman Begins more than The Dark Knight Rises? I know it's a little overstuffed, but it's still really
Those two would
good.
be my least favorite. I hate them both. I think they're both bad.
Because Batman Begins it was bad, but The Dark Knight Rises was
No.
interesting.
I don't.
Boys.
Batman Begins is trash.
They
I hate that.
whitewashed
Boys.
whitewashed Ra's al Ghul with Liam Neeson. Why?
Good. It's not even good.
Boys.
Natalia,
Hi.
you have the power here.
I really do.
Yeah.
I was very tempted to just mute you while you guys were bitching and moaning. Enfócate, okay?
Yes.
Please. Think
We see.
Liam,
Okay,
Come on.
let's just give
Where's-
ratings.
you can fight each
My-
other when there's no longer a pandemic, okay?
I wouldn't put it at the top of his films. I would say it was worse than. I would say it wasn't as bad as Interstellar, but
mid-tier.
mid tier. Yeah, the acting brings it right up.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for the acting, for me, I would have it right the way down because I found it stupidly boring.
Yes, I almost
Oh,
fell asleep.
come on.
I did
What?
almost fall asleep.
How?
Because I understood exactly what was happening, and I didn't want to understand. I wanted this film to make my mind work, and
Yeah.
it didn't do that. I instantly knew everything that was happening as it was happening. I knew what was going to happen in advance.
Yeah.
I could tell what was happening, and I shouldn't get that from a Christopher Nolan film. I shouldn't have the
Okay.
plot of this whole film already figured out in my head within the first 20 minutes.
But even when
last
we
5
spoke
minutes, it should
on
be a struggle.
Thursday, but even you said some of the big reveals towards the end you didn't get until either right when it happened or a couple minutes before. So I think that's not
Yeah,
fair.
there was
some of the
there was
things
a
that you're
couple.
talking about. Yeah,
But
but,
the-
some of
the
the things you were
twists weren't-
talking about,
the
like
things that I found that I didn't get until the
Yeah.
couple of minutes beforehand, they weren't big reveals.
that's not a twist. That's not a reveal. It's it's not something for later on to be like, oh my god, whoa. It's when you see it done again
But it is.
in reverse. It's seeing it. If you learn the spoil, like if you hear the spoilers, if you read the spoilers, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change your film. It will probably make it better because you understand more. It's about seeing how they executed it. That is the enjoyment of this film. I agree. I don't think Nolan's main intent of this film was just like surprise everybody with every single twist. I think he had one big twist at the end that was well done, and then everything else was about how is he going to pull this off? How is he going to execute it? How is this going to work?
Disagree.
I think
Okay,
I
what's your
agree
rating?
more with Liam.
Okay, what's your rating out of 10? The both of you.
6.5.
6.5. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. Okay.
I'm the
Ben?
very same. I'm the very same.
You gave New Mutants a 7.
7.5 actually.
Like 5.
Okay, that's dirty. That's doing it dirty.
I'm
So
giving it a
that's
10.
safe.
I think it's really good. It's perfect. I'm giving
Alright,
it a 10.
it's fine.
And
Go
I
and
think
give,
it's medium. It's medium.
you can go and give Nolan
If
a
we
blowjob
keep
in
going-
the background.
This is. Are you not entertained? I mean, what a
Ever
blast.
so slightly. Ever so
Yeah.
slightly.
To
I
be
think
fair-
everyone will
say,
be entertained.
Yeah,
I
the
will
listeners are
say-
going to be.
Oh, hey, thanks for watching. And remember, full episodes are available wherever you get your podcasts.
With new episodes Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, links in the description box.
And be sure to subscribe and hit that bell to stay caught up to date with The Council.
Boys, I'm excited.